Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video, and in today's video I'll be giving you guys a tier list for every single role in the game in the current patch. Keep in mind that next week, in like 5 or 6 days, there's gonna be a new patch with all the crit items, and man, this tier list is gonna be turned upside down. There's gonna be so many changes to it, and I cannot wait to make a tier list then. But now let's focus on this patch right now. So if you wanna skip to different roles, there's timestamps in the description. Also, the toilet background is back, guys. And another thing that I have to say is I messed up the resolution of the videos. Like, you know, when I made the Malphite video and the Pantheon video, I messed up the resolution, but I think I fixed it now. So the video should look better now compared to yesterday's video. So now let's talk about the Baron lane. And as you can see, Fiora is not dominating anymore. And honestly, I almost even put Fiora here, but she is still pretty powerful. But let me tell you guys, I saw a lot of people talk about the minus 40 HP change, and they were saying like, yeah, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter a lot. Nerf what you have to nerf, right? They were talking about like nerf the range or the damage of her first ability. No, the 40 HP nerf is big. Do you guys remember when they did this to Darius and people were like, yeah, that's nothing? But I told you, yes, it is something. It's actually a pretty big nerf. And same for Fiora. Fiora used to be absolutely broken, but now she is almost balanced. I'm not even kidding with you guys. The 40 HP nerf makes her so much weaker in the early game, but yet she's still one of the best champions in the Baron lane. So she's not going to be absolutely dominating anymore, but she's still one of the best. So let's talk about Gragas, who is actually on top of everything. AP Gragas, Tank Gragas, both are just amazing. It's true that they nerfed some items that Tank Gragas goes for, but still, it's just absolutely, it's so powerful, guys. It's insanely powerful. Even when you go for like a hybrid build, Rod of Ages, things like that, Gragas is just always going to be a really, really good pick in the Baron lane. Camille, very, very powerful. Like, just this champion is insane in the Baron lane. Malphite as well. I'm not seeing a lot of Malphite in my ranked games. I don't know why. I made a Malphite video yesterday, right? You know, you can find it on my channel. He is so powerful. So I want to talk about Garen. Garen took a big hit, guys. He is not broken anymore, but he is still on the bottom of the S tier, which means he's still very good. It's just that he's not like, he was beyond broken. You guys remember, right? He was absolutely beyond broken. He still has his tankiness that he used to have, which is still it's incredibly powerful, the tankiness, but he's not going to be able to deal that much damage anymore. The sole purpose of Garen right now is just being tanky. And I've tried to attack damage Garen, but no, it doesn't work. But you know what, guys? If you guys still want to see me keep trying attack damage Garen and find maybe a good build, something like that, if this video reaches 1,500 likes, I'll just spam attack damage Garen and I'll get a video for you guys. So if you want to see that, make sure to give the video a like. So Renekton, a very solid pick. It's just always going to be good. And I want to talk about a few picks down here because I don't want to make it too long for the Baron lane only. Let's talk about Nasus first. See, Nasus is not strong. But there is a big but, a very, very, very big but, guys. Nasus is stronger than you think. You just, like, why am I never seeing Nasus in my ranked? Nasus is probably one of the least played champions, at least in my ranked games. And when I play him, I have so much success at him. I literally have a 60% win rate on Nasus, guys. I have a lot of Nasus videos. Please just play him. He is actually good, but the thing is, you just have to pick him in the right draft. I'm not going to get into that right now because I talked about that many times during my Nasus videos, but Nasus is stronger than you think. He is really powerful. Like, as you can see, I've put him above all these other champions, and my Nasus would definitely be somewhere here, but not everyone is me on Nasus. Like, I'm incredibly good at Nasus. Nasus is one of my main champions, that's why, but basically, Nasus is better than you think. Same goes for Teemo right here. Even though he's on the bottom of the A tier, Teemo, just like Nasus, is very draft dependent. You want to pick him into the right matchup. For example, when the enemy picks Darius, you pick Teemo and you absolutely smash your lane. You absolutely smash your lane. I'm not going to talk about the matchups right now. I have a Teemo video on my channel too, but basically if you pick him into the right draft, he's very powerful. Definitely A tier. A-tier champion. I used to underrate him. So champions like Darius, Irelia, Wukong, Riven, these are like always really gonna be good. They're always just solid champions. Alright, let's get on to the jungle tier list. And yes, we have him on top yet again. It's the Lee Sin, unrivaled champion, guys. It's kind of funny. All these champions got nerfed except for Lee Sin. Well, Camille didn't get nerfed, but all the other champions except for Lee Sin got nerfed for some reason, right? Which makes Lee Sin S+ tier. He's just S+ tier. He's so powerful. But the thing is, you do have to know how to play him. And I don't have a Lee Sin video yet. It's just... let's not talk about it. But Lee Sin is unrivaled. He's really, really powerful. Camille is also very powerful. I almost put her in the S+ tier. But see, the thing with Camille is, see, she does not have the early game pressure that Lee Sin has. That's why she's on the S tier. Now, the thing with Camille is she skills beautifully into the late game. She's an absolute late game powerhouse. And when she reaches level 5, she also rivals Lee Sin. But now the problem is, guys, Lee Sin is a hard counter to Camille. So that's why, you know, these are all the things that made me put Camille in the S tier and not in the S+ tier. Kha'Zix. Now, the thing is, Kha'Zix itself, I would say, is S+ tier. It's just that it's really hard to play him. See, when enemies actually play well, which means that they stick together or stick to other minions to not allow them to get isolated, Kha'Zix is really hard to play, right? If the enemy really pays close attention to you as a Kha'Zix and they stick together, you're gonna have a really hard time playing Kha'Zix, but he's still really powerful. It's just you really have to play him the right way. You really have to know how to catch out enemies isolated. I have a Kha'Zix video on my channel. Again, you can check all that out, but he's still really powerful. S tier, definitely, but not an easy champion to play. Wukong, shouldn't really say too much about him, right? Him and his ultimate, his first ability. Basically, tank Wukong is the new thing right now, right? You build tank Wukong and you still do a lot of damage, and the tankiness is just really, really nice. And guys, Evelynn in the A tier. What? We have Evelynn. Evelynn, the champion that used to always be S+ tier, in the A tier. Guys, they nerfed Evelynn's ultimate, they nerfed Evelynn's first ability, they nerfed Evelynn's passive, they nerfed Evelynn's ultimate again, and they nerfed everything about Evelynn. She's not bad, don't get me wrong, she's not bad. When you reach late game with Evelynn, you still pretty much win the game, but it's just before you reach the late game, she became significantly weaker, guys, significantly weaker. But she's still good. It's funny because I'm never seeing Evelynn in my ranked games anymore, but she's not that bad, right? I want to talk about Fizz as well. He got a nerf. You guys remember? Instead of 200% damage, he only deals 150% damage to jungle right now, which makes him incredibly vulnerable to invades. When you play against a Fizz, you can play super aggressively because he's absolutely going to be useless in the early game. It's going to take him a really long time to clear the jungle, which makes him vulnerable, as I said, to invades. So if all you got to do against a Fizz is play aggressively in the early game, invade his jungle, and you should demolish him in the early game. Xin Zhao is also rising up in the meta. And now especially the reason for that is because Xin Zhao is a really good counter to Lee Sin. Because Xin Zhao, the way that Xin Zhao works is he can catch up to enemies very easily with his challenged passive, right? So when a Lee Sin goes on him, you can challenge the Lee Sin, and when he tries to run away, boom, you just jump on him with one of your abilities and you can catch up to him. Same goes to when you're playing against a Kha'Zix or a Camille. These are champions that can run away, right? Camille with the hookshot, Kha'Zix with his jump, but Xin Zhao can actually catch up to them, and that's pretty much the sole reason why Xin Zhao is actually rising up in the tier list. So on to the mid lane tier. No. I forgot about it. I think 3 videos in a row, but not today. Not today, guys. Who do we have here? It was like 2 days ago that I had a 0-6 Master Yi in my team. Screw Master Yi, okay? He's in the E tier. And man, this one and another one for all the videos that I forgot to put in the E tier, okay? Screw you when you pick Master Yi and troll my games. Screw you and screw all the other Master Yis that troll games. Alright, on to the mid lane. Now the mid lane tier has changed a lot. So I've been playing and I've been checking out on what people play, and man, Akali, we thought Akali got nerfed, but let me just quickly explain what happened to Akali. I'm working on a new Akali video, by the way. Before you ask me, I'm working on it. Akali is very hard to play, but if you do get good at Akali, so they nerfed her laning pressure, but they actually buffed her burst damage, right? When you go all in with your ultimate, they buffed the amount of damage that you're going to be dealing burst-wise. That's what makes Akali S+ tier in the mid lane. Now, if we go back to the Baron lane, you can see Akali in the A tier, but we're not talking about Baron lane right now because you're not against a tanky matchup. As you can see, the mid lane champions are all squishy. So when you play against a squishy matchup, you can easily assassinate them with the Akali, with the ultimate and things like that. Also in team fights, very, very powerful, right? So Akali S+ tier. Irelia, I'm still sticking with my S+ tier on Irelia. I am seeing a lot of Irelia, but I feel like not enough. Irelia is actually really broken right now. It's just that I don't have an Irelia video because I don't like playing Irelia, which is unfortunate, I guess. I just don't like it, but man, Irelia is so strong, guys. So damn strong, really. I was right about Irelia in my previous tier list. When she got a buff, I was like, she's gonna be S+ tier for sure. So quickly about the S tier champion, Ziggs, you know, still a very solid champion. Twisted Faith, really, really good with his ultimate and things like that. Katarina, now about Katarina, you really have to be a one-trick Katarina right now for her to be S tier. If we would talk about Katarina normally, I would probably put her on top of the A tier, like for normal Katarina players. But for the Katarina one-tricks, she would still be S tier. She did receive she received a significant nerf in a few patches ago, which did cut her down from the S+ tier. But I still believe she's S tier. But as I said, you have to be really good at her for her to be S tier. Same goes for Akali, by the way, guys. If you're like not a one-trick Akali would probably be on top of the S tier. Okay, Galio, Diana, very, very solid. Diana is not as strong as she used to be, by the way, but she's still very solid. Zed, guys, Zed is good. It's just that it's really hard. Like when you get to the late game and people get stasis enchant, things like that, it's really, really hard to play Zed. Also, Zed has a lot of counters. Like when you're playing against an Ezreal, for example, he can just use his third ability to dash away. Or when you're playing against a Xayah, she has her ultimate. When you play against Tristana, she jumps away. You get my point, right? He just has a lot of counters. But when you pick him into the right draft, he's actually S tier. But I put him in the A tier because it's actually really hard to pick him into the right draft in the current meta, because there's so much that counters him. Yeah, the other champions are not very interesting. Yeah, Lucian is definitely gonna rise in the next patch, by the way. Right now he's in the A tier in the mid lane, but with the new items that will come, he is definitely gonna rise in the tier list. We're gonna have to see where he's actually gonna be rising. So on to the Dragon Lane tier list. And this one is going to change so much with the new update. I'm already going to quickly tell you what I think is going to happen in the new update. I'm pretty sure Draven is going to be S+ tier. No, actually S tier, not S+ tier. I am pretty sure Ezreal is going to be really strong. I'm pretty sure Kai'Sa is not going to be the best ADC anymore. Xayah is going to be very strong. Tristana is going to be very strong. Basically, every champion is going to go up except for Kai'Sa because of the new items. But let's talk about right now real quick. Right now, Kai'Sa is still unrivaled. This champion just provides everything that you need, really. She scales really well into the late game. In the first dragon fight, she's going to be really powerful because of the item build that you go for, right? I have Kai'Sa videos if you want to check it out, where you upgrade your first ability. She's just like super powerful in every stage of the game. Ezreal is not as powerful in the early game, but when you do reach that late game, Ezreal is actually even stronger than Kai'Sa. But as I said, the early game he might struggle a little bit, but when you do reach the late game, Ezreal is absolutely insane. Xayah is one of the safest ADCs out there. That's because of her third ability to root the enemies that are chasing you, or your ultimate. She's just very safe, basically. And also, besides the fact that she's safe, her second ability allows her to catch up to enemies. So she's a very all-round good ADC in the meta right now. She deals a lot of damage as well. Varus, really, really good with poking. Basically, you just want to go for attack damage Varus. Full lethality Varus. And full lethality means flat armor penetrating items, Duskblade of Draktar, Yumo's Ghostblade, things like that, right? If you combine that with a Manamune, he's really, really strong. His poking is insane. Draven, as I said, in the next patch, with the changes to Bloodthirster, he's gonna be S tier, at least. I'm telling you guys, he's definitely gonna be S tier. Right now, A tier. He's still good. It's just, yeah, he's just good. He's not absolutely amazing, he's just good. Lucian, not the best ADC right now, but as I said, the next patch, Lucian, you guys have to have an eye on Lucian. And man, I feel so sad about Jhin. I just quickly want to talk about Jhin. What did they do with this champion, man? I used to love playing Jhin so much. I think he's still my most played champion. No. After Darius, I'm pretty sure Jhin is still my most played champion. Just because of how much I love this champion. It's just, he sucks so much, guys. He's so bad. This champion just doesn't provide any damage per second. He's only good at catching out an enemy. He's only good at like the laning phase. But when it actually comes down to dealing a lot of damage, he's really not that good, guys. So on to the support tier list. And this one, this one changed as well. Let's talk about the S+ tier real quick. Janna, even though she received a nerf on her second ability, you can see, like, her playstyle changed a little bit, and I have a video on that too. Just look up HellsDevil Janna. Basically, now you play around the third ability, the shield. You just fully upgrade the shield, and she's still S+ tier. Really, really powerful. Senna, I almost put Senna in the S tier, but then I was thinking like, man, Senna is so strong. She just has everything. See, the only weakness of Senna is, if she gets caught out, she's dead. But if you have good positioning on Senna, she is S+ tier. Only if you have good positioning. It's actually super important on Senna, because she's unlike any other champion. She just can't escape if she gets caught out. She's just dead, because she's very squishy. Well, she's not very squishy. It's just she cannot escape. That's the problem. But if you, like as I said, if you know how to position well, she's S+ tier, because she does so much damage in the late game if you can accumulate a lot of stacks. Rakan, very, very powerful, guys. This champion, he is so strong in the current patch. It's insane. He received some buffs, the shielding, the knock up, his ultimate, everything. Even his first ability is pretty good now, because they buffed the range of it. He is just very, very good. Nami, very, very good as well. And Braum has actually gone down from the S+ tier to almost the A tier. Let me tell you why. First of all, they nerfed his passive, the stun duration, but it was not terrible. He was still really, really good. But then they nerfed his shield. They took away a second from the duration of the shield, and this is actually pretty huge. Was it a second or 1.25 seconds? But it was like a pretty significant amount of time, which is pretty huge. Like right now, he's not going to be able to block damage for as long anymore. And don't get me wrong, he's still really, really good, but you have to look at the draft more carefully now. You can't just pick him anymore, because they can counter you. Like Senna is an absolute hard counter to Braum. So all these things make Braum significantly worse than he used to be before. Because before you could just always pick Braum, but right now, a Senna absolutely demolishes Braum, guys. Leona, really, really good as well. Very underrated champion. I might actually make a video on her. I've seen some people ask me to play Leona, but I don't know. We'll see. And I'm actually gonna put another champion here. I forgot. Where's Teemo? Here, Teemo. So, okay, let me tell you guys. I seriously believe that Teemo could be a counter to Senna. I think, this is what I think. This is not proven. But I think support Teemo could be good when an enemy picks a Senna, because Teemo actually counters Senna. I'm not gonna talk about it too much. I'm just saying right now, I think I might give it a try. We'll see. But yeah, that was it for the video. This time I didn't forget Soraka in the support tier list, which I always do. She sucks, guys. And Annie, please don't pick any support, man. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and yeah, say hello back to the toilet background. We kind of missed him, to be honest, right? So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.